Well, what would you expect on Christmas Eve? Oh yes, Santa would be going off on his sleigh, but before he does that, he needs to have a chance for our Army Entertainment Christmas parade. A special parade. And more or less a spin-off of our big balloon parade, despite saying it right over there. Well then. Are you ready? Let's go! And we've got a new recording location as well. So at the moment, the parade's going on like this. Because this is the very first time we're recording over here. This is a much smaller location and a more convenient one in this matter for the Christmas Eve parade. So, our first float is our new Mr. Robot. And now, he can move on his own with the power of a pullback motor. And he can even shake, rattle and bang. And look who's on there. SpongeBob and Sandy Cheeks. There's actually a reason why we're on here. And we'll see just now. And when you see golden stars, you might always see a SpongeBob balloon. So yeah, SpongeBob is our leader of our 16 giant balloons. He's furnished, of course, by Nickelodeon. He's here to commemorate the passing of Stephen Hillenburg, his creator. We wish good memories of the Stevens family and everyone at Nickelodeon. And of course, SpongeBob will always be there for him. We miss you, Stephen Hillenburg. Rest in peace. Of course, SpongeBob is our only square balloon in the parade. And he's lifted up for the first time by this giant Santa Claus hat. With a giant golden bell at the end of it. And now, here comes a float furnished by Cartoon Network. And it's got our lovable trio of girls who save the world before bedtime. It is the Powerpuff Girls. I'm riding along are Blossom, Bubbles, and of course, Buttercup. And with them come giant versions of different materials. There's a giant skunk, the Powerpuff Girls hotline, and a jamming guitar. And with these you can rebuild them into two other forms, some of them which we saw in the last parade. And now here comes a character who's jamming on his own drum, the Nestle Quick Bunny, furnished by Nestle. So basically, the Quick Bunny's here not just to promote his delicious chocolate drink, but also to be honour of the only marching band leader of the parade. Quick Bunny is one of our highest flyers. Yep, he's so high that even wind can't beat him. Or can it? On this terrifying float, we have a rotating head, powered together by some skeletons. They're really creepy and I wouldn't want to mess with them. And furnished by the Walt Disney Company comes a brand new Kermit the Frog. Yep, Kermit has had a brand new look. It looks so cool, doesn't it? Yep. So here, Kermit's well decked up in, of course, holiday green. And And he's making sure to give some good laughs as well, because there's going to be an all-new Muppet series coming up on the Disney Plus service in 2019. So make sure to have a good look out for that. Our equivalent to Sesame Street is depicted on this float, featuring a whole bunch of clone troopers. In fact, this float is too small for them now, but still, at least we have these giant speakers and a another giant speaker with 2 orange clones on there. And of course, can't be, well, a Sesame Street style float without a Sesame Street balloon. And here is Big Bird once again appearing in the parade, furnished by Sesame Workshop, a non-profit educational organisation behind Sesame Street. So of course, Big Bird is making sure to teach many of our English speakers how to read. And he's flying high. Or could he not? He's got a giant sweater on, with a scarf too, and a giant Santa Claus hat. Big Bird is certainly one sight you'd love to see. Well, the light's going all crazy now, but now we're back to normal. Here is, of course, another float. Another interesting one. It's a boat that has a roof. Quite cool. Peekaboo. And here's another novelty balloon favourite, Chloe the Holiday Clown. Making sure that her joys make sure that Christmas Eve is, well, jolly. Wiggling stars. Now we're on to evilness from ATOM Adventures. This is not what you want to see in the parade. Yep, it's of course our villains from ATOM Adventures. But help is on the way. Bonk. Yep. It's of course the heroes themselves. But since this is a car, and that's a float, well, they can't move, whilst the ATOM can. Oh, like, here's a little show for you. Haha, no you're not this time. Yep, me, Sen, will grab you all. Aaron. Are you doing anything? No. Lewis, you sit there, and Chase, you sit there. Oh, psh. Yeah. Well, time to get in. Oh, 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 oh. I hate these Lego cars. Now here comes our next balloon. You can guess by this shadow. He's 60 feet high, orange and black, hates exercise. You know who it is. Well, if we point up, well, here he is. It's Garfield, furnished of course by Paws Incorporated. Garfield is probably our highest flyer, and that's to represent his passion for lasagna. And in fact, for Christmas, he's not going to eat the turkey, he's going to go straight to that refrigerator and eat the lasagna. That's his perfect Christmas dish. What do you want it for, big cat? Thanks for stopping by. And as I've said before, he's furnished, of course, by Paws Incorporated. And of course, don't forget Cookie. He's also the size of at least 700 teddy bears in Lego form. Here's a very popular float that we tend to see, even though a balloon counterpart's been retired, and that's our Simpsons float. Bart Simpson's on the front, leading away for an assortment of characters from the show. Apu, Maggie, Homer, Marge, Abraham, and Nelson. Oh, and not forgetting Nelson. Oh, and here comes our big red shoe car with Captain Jack Sparrow on the front. Yep, Jackie's on there. Well, the two police officers, Nick Brick and Laura Brick. And of course, it can't be, well, like that if we don't have our regular Ronald McDonald balloon, furnished of course by McDonald's. He's got really large ice skates, about the size of a minifigure torso. And he's got giant balloons about the size of minifigure legs. Well, he's one tall dude with a giant scarf the size of two minifigures. But he's one of our smallest balloons, so that is not one good thing. But at least he's still Ronald, making sure the kids are happy, no matter where he is. One of our next floats is the Robloxium float, furnished by the Macy's Parade Wiki on fandom.com. Well, if you can see, it's got Polar Jack 77's Robloxian on there. And of course there's a little minifigure on there as well. And here comes another returnee, Mayday 51's own mascot Brian, furnished by Mayday 51. Brian is, as I've said, the mascot of Mayday 51. And you can now wiggle his ears. And, well, wiggle. Because he is a wiggler. Indeed. Peekaboo. But since he's a balloonicle, he can move freely and doesn't have to be held up by straws. And here comes another old favourite. Here is Lucy, Charlie Brown and Snoopy. All on Snoopy's doghouse. And in the air, two other favourites. Snoopy and Woodstock. Well, Aviator Snoopy, both furnished by Peanuts Worldwide. Snoopy is actually helping Santa this year. He's got a giant list in his hand. Let's go straight to that list. Wow. Woodstock's leaving, and now let's zoom straight to that list. Because I think it's going to open. Well, the list's open. Can you recognise your names? Well, if your name's not on there, I'm sorry. But yep, like I said, it's good to have Snoopy with us in the parade. No matter what he is, he's always Snoopy to us. It's lucky my name's on there, alongside a couple of others. We are good boys and girls indeed. Oh, be careful. Be careful, Woodstock. Got caught on that list. Alongside the route, we have Pepperoni from Lego Island. He's skateboarding on, well, here. Now let's see him do some stunts, shall we? There we go. Thank you very much. And then as we pass the wiggling stars, here comes our next float. It's a giant gun. And it's a float that we've seen before in the parade. A lot. And on there we have a police woman. And an alien. Oh, it's gone detached. Oh. There we go. And meanwhile, earlier on in the route, here's what's happening. We got our Virginia balloon flying forward, making sure that the next float well, the balloon doesn't crash into the next float. More balloons and more fun going on. In fact, let's see what the next balloon is now. Yep, and coming to you courtesy of the Pokemon Company International is Pikachu, or more or less Detective Pikachu, based on the new movie starring Ryan Reynolds as the voice of this beloved Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, furnished by Warner Brothers and the Pokemon Company International. And this time Detective Pikachu's wearing a scarf, because it is quite cold outside, so who else would want to wear this beloved scarf? Well, a Pikachu would. And don't forget, there's also the release of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So Pikachu surely is a really busy Pikachu indeed. Look at this. It's a little mini car with Buzz Lightyear as the driver. And look at those tiny wheels. Racing car star. And then here comes another racer, Snap Locket from the Lego Island trilogy. Well, quite a speeder if you'd ask me. Quite a speeder indeed. Let's see some tricks. Well, thank you very much. Now, here comes a Boop Doopy Doop balloon. Well, there she is, Betty Boop, appearing now for a third parade, furnished by King Features Syndicate. Betty Boop is another high flyer in our parade, holding a crescent moon that looks good enough to eat, wearing jolly old holiday red, purple, blushing cheeks, and well, she is a famed sex symbol. No wonder why she's so popular and so tall. And a falling down one. She's quite hard to fly. So now here comes a giant mecha robot with a giant pig on board. It can move its arms and it's a giant mecha robot. Say that 10 times fast. Now we're on to our second half because all the world loves a parade. Now here comes Emmett, riding his little buggy, waiting for the release of Lego Movie 2, the second part. That's how excitable Emmett can be. Oh, and what's that? Well, red thing in the sky. No, it's not a bird, it's not even a plane. It's Clifford the Big Red Dog, furnished by Scholastic. Clifford is actually our only life-size character in the parade. And he has a giant leash because, of course, look who's walking down the parade route with her dog. Yep, it's Emily Elizabeth herself. And of course, Clifford is, of course, life-sized in one of our dogs. Gotta make sure to lead it to the dogs, of course. Clifford's there to save the day. Of course, there's also going to be a new Clifford TV show coming to Amazon Prime Video in 2019. Which is actually next year, to be honest. Continuing on in the parade, there's a 360 rotating walker who can really walk. Oops. Come on, robot. You can fix him up. Beep boop beep. And there's 4 too. Quite cool, isn't it? Now, here comes Batman in his little bat car, who's appeared in every single IME Entertainment Big Balloon Parade. And now he's here because, well, a fellow DC friend of his, or enemy in some cases, is here too. And you know who it is, don't you? Yep, the Man of Steel himself, Superman. Furnished by DC Entertainment. Well, in the world of DC, there's a new movie that's just come out featuring another superhero based in the DC universe, Aquaman. And he's appearing, well, in the film of the same name from Warner Brothers. That's available now in the cinemas. Superman is quite tall. Pretty much he should really be made out of steel. Hence his name, the Man of Steel. Get that joke? Well, get out if you don't laugh. Now, here comes some criminals from the ATOM Adventures series. They're criminals. Evil. Bad. Not good. Horrible. And then there's a toy soldier as well. Come on, lead the way, toy soldier. Here are some characters who have appeared in the parade before, but now in these mini balloon forms. Mickey Mouse is back on the route in the parade as a balloonicle, alongside Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck. But now you're wondering, there's a certain character missing on the route. Because he's... and you can tell why, because look who's sitting on the top of there. And if we zoom in, now you can see him. Santa Goofy is in the house, furnished by the Walt Disney Company. Much like with his friends, Goofy is, well, comedic. And don't forget, Goofy is a goof, so his son Max doesn't want to be like him. But this time, Goofy's dressed up as Santa Claus, being one of our final balloons. But don't worry, there's still a couple more to arrive. So the parade is not over yet. Look at this. There's our other, Goofy. Now, here comes the Star Wars float. Yep, also furnished by Disney and Lucasfilm. This has all your favourite Star Wars characters on it. And it's a really fun float to me, if you're a fan of Star Wars. There's Boba Fett with a hood on. It's quite cold out. And they're also leading way for another balloon. And appearing for the third time now in this form is Rocky and Bullwinkle J. Moose, furnished by DreamWorks Classics. Yep, Bullwinkle is here, saluting his favourite team, WU. And of course, you can't forget Bullwinkle without, well, Rocky. Rocky's about the size of 10 minifigures. Whilst that beanie hat can actually rotate. Bullwinkle's a great sight to see and one of our favourites. Yes, he's a big balloon favourite in our parade. Yay! Look at this. It's a giant door, which means the Christmas season is about to start now. Well, Christmas Eve. And leading the way is our first holiday balloon. Yes, Virginia. She's got a letter to give to Santa that says if he's really real. Oh. Uh-oh, there's Santa Claus. Well, that's not really him, that's just an imposter. Now, here comes the little tree. A little mini Christmas tree. That's not grown fully just yet. It just needs a couple more days to grow. And then hopefully there'll be a full, real, huge Christmas tree. And then also appearing for his third parade now is the star of Angry Birds, Red, furnished by Rovio Entertainment. Red's holding a giant egg which might contain a hatchling inside because he and the other birds are going to return in the Angry Birds movie 2 in 2019. And he's about the size of 12 minifigures, and that egg's about the size of 5. No wonder why he's so darn angry. All my friends are on this float. They're wishing for more and more toys to arrive. But will they ever get their wishes? Well, the Christmas tree will find out soon. Well, who knows? Well, here comes another Christmassy master, and that's Jelt the Snowman. A giant snowman balloonicle. It doesn't need to float in the air. Instead, just floats on the ground. And here comes another friend of ours, and that is, of course, Percy the Penguin. A little penguin who, well, got lost, but now he's back where he belongs. There's a couple of friends on there as well. Look, who's that with a really long neck? Oh, of course, it's Buddy from the hit film Elf, furnished by Warner Brothers Consumer Products. Buddy's in his design from the television special based off of the musical Elf, Buddy's Magical Christmas. His neck's at least the size of 10 minifigures. Maybe 2, if you're lucky. And he's really tall. He's one of our tallest flyers in the parade. One of our tallest balloons. And one of our most interesting. In minifigure size, he's much taller than you would expect. And there he goes, going off. Now, we're on to the marketplace float. Covered in holly and lights. It makes it a very interesting sight indeed. Kid wants some delicious cocoa. And in fact, following them is a first time ever moment for our parade. This represents the play Once Upon a Mattress, featuring Prince Dauntless, Princess Winifred, the fiddle player, and the jester. And so basically, these 4 balloons, which are the size of novelty balloons, are furnished by none other than Polar Jack 77, who asked for them to be in the parade for a little while now. And as they pass by, a pepperoni knockoff appears on this horse. It's nothing special, it's just filler. There we go, Santa Claus is here, which means the parade is officially over. Look, it says the end as well. Well, not really, they're just there. Big Man Santa was a novelty balloon, not the real Santa. He's here in at least a couple of minutes. So, here is a favourite float that we normally tend to see in the parade, and that's our Snow Family. With Boko Loco's little son, and Boko Loco himself on the float. Ooh. And there's nothing inside that mailbox though. Sorry, Boko. Now, we're almost at the end of Santa now. And here is our last character, Bloom. So basically, there's one little bear who wanted to be as snug as a bug while he waited for Santa. And he brought along some delicious candy canes. Who would want to resist a hug from Snuggle, furnished by the Lever Brothers Company? Snuggle's in this giant red stocking. The kids would absolutely love to be in that. In fact, kids watching now would really love to be with Snuggle. There you go, he turns around. He's a pretty sight to see. Meanwhile, we have some elves behaving badly. And they're on the Rudolph float, which is now going away. Rudolph needs to get ready for Santa. Oh, and here's a new friend of Santa's. Instead of Kit, Charlie and CJ ending the parade this year, we have our new pal, Sonny the Snow Pal. Now, he's leading the way for, of course, the jolly man in red himself, Santa Claus. Come in, come in, come in. There he is. Along with a green star as well. Well, this means the parade is finally over. And now it's time to go. Ho, ho, ho. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the Big Balloon Parades this year. Sure enough, there wasn't as many as there were last year, but still, it was nice seeing me every single month. Despite the fact it's not really Christmassy, but still, I've still had enough fun nevertheless. And now, it's time to go. Come on, everybody. Floats galore. Presents galore. The end.